Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Welcome back to the show. We are so excited to have Lonnie Bam Bridges joining us, our Chief Example Officer from Bridges Adaptive Management. Excited that he's joining us here live today on the show to talk more about the work he does as an entrepreneur, as a consultant, as a speaker, as a trainer, and so much more. Welcome to the show today. How are you?
Hey, I'm super fantastic.
Well, I love your energy. I've gotten to peruse and get to know a little bit about you. I'm excited for our listeners to get to know you as well. So first and foremost, how can we contact you? What's the website?
Oh, my website is bridgesbam.com. That's BRIDGESBAM.com.
Beautiful. And you're based out of where specifically?
Actually, I'm in Louisiana, central Louisiana, the heart of Louisiana, where all the good food and the good cooking's at.
Beautiful.
Right there in the Boyles Parish.
Great. But you are worldwide. And we're going to get to all the work that he's doing and how he can help you, right? Whether it's motivational speaking, improving performance, and changing,
Absolutely.
and changing that mindset development. So we're excited about this. And first and foremost, would you mind just telling us a little bit about, yourself? And we'll get into, how the business started as well.
Yeah, well, again, Lonnie Bridges, I'm just a country boy, actually. I was born and raised right here in Louisiana.
Beautiful.
I'm so country. I was born in my grandmother's house.
Oh, my goodness.
Delivered by a local doctor, not even in a hospital. But the heart of Louisiana and the heart of me is dealing with Southern hospitality. And it kind of led for me to grow to get into the motivational speaking aspect. For instance, my company name is Bridges Adaptive Management. It goes by the acronyms BAM. So that's where the BAM comes in. Mm-hmm. But I'm also a motivational speaker. I teach on customer services, which is BAM, which is back to the basics, always delighting and making a difference. Uh-huh. I'm a motorcyclist. I ride an Indian Chief motorcycle.
Whoa.
And a Marine. So my biker name is BAM. It stands for Badass
Got
Marine.
it. Got it.
What you're thinking there, Jill.
I did. My mind did slip, but the good old country boy knew. I knew it couldn't be that.
Absolutely. But that's my thing. I have a very diverse background, whether it's dealing with education or in the job industry fields. And I've been able to take all those experiences and combine it into something. The word adaptive within the name of my business is exactly what it is. I've learned that in the military that you have to overcome and adapt to situations. Yeah. And in management, you have to do that. I've been in the casino industry for over 25 years.
Yeah, I was reading that. You were executive there. You were president of, you were on a board. I read that earlier. What board was it?
Yeah, the boards. You're talking about the LACG, the Louisiana Association on Compulsive Gambling. So not only am I a casino executive, but I serve in a volunteering way to make sure those people who have issues with gambling, that I'm also on the board for the state, and I led it as the president to help find issues and how to fix problems that they may have. So I'm involved in so many different industries and in so many backgrounds from a training and a development and improvement standpoint. It's amazing.
Well, I'm excited to have you here, and I just want to go back a little bit and commend you on your service as a U.S. Marine. Could you just share a little bit about what brought you into that career path? And was it someone in the family? Who was your mentor? Who guided you as a child? I know Grandma helped, right?
Oh, Grandma was big. Grandma was always big. Mm-hmm. My military service is kind of tied to. I had uncles.
Yes, I read that.
Uncles that was my mentors. I had one uncle who was in the Navy. He was an athlete in college. He would get all these trophies and state awards. So I modeled myself after him because I was an athlete in high school as well. He also went to the Navy and retired the Navy. His brother, my other uncle, Foreman Blackman, he's an engineer. He was always very smart and intelligent. So I decided to go to college and get a degree in engineering, because he was successful as an engineer. Mm-hmm. And I have another guy, he was my cousin, but he is like an uncle to me. He became an officer in the Army. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to go, after I went into the military Marines, after fighting in combat, I decided to go to OCS, Officer Candidate School in Quantico. So I kind of Frankenstein myself off of those types of people.
Beautiful. Well, commend you on the work that you've done, that you continue to do. I mean, some people, you serve for how long?
8 years in the United States Marines.
God bless. And then when you came out, did you know what you were going to do for a career? How did this all even start?
It's weird. When I got out the military, I fell back on my engineering college degree. So I got my
Okay.
degree in engineering. So I was fortunate to get hired by a Fortune 500 company,
Yes.
Rockwell Automation, out there in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So I took that military discipline, but my background in education as an engineer, and I worked as a quality assurance engineer, which was an amazing job. I actually had to travel the world and to go to different businesses, and I would evaluate and monitor their processes and help them make improvements so they can sign multi-million dollar contracts with our company. So evaluating and auditing processes and then helping to make them improve them, it was kind of ingrained into me before I started doing what I'm doing now.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. And I'm excited that you're here to talk to us today. We're going to talk a little bit about the work you're doing. And to start with, I know it's performance improvement, skills development, and change movement, right? So, and you've worked with some big companies. So you're working with individuals, groups, companies now, everyone, right?
Well, absolutely. I'm really excited right now. I'm in the process of scheduling something with Big Blue, IBM.
Wow.
So a gentleman reached out to me, and it's amazing how this world works.
Uh-huh.
Many years, as I said, I've been in the casino industry for over 25 years, and I got one of my speaking breaks as being an MC at a SHRM conference for Society of Human Resources Management.
Okay.
And people had heard me emceeing that event, and they started inviting me, well, can you come to my company and talk about different topics? So I started doing that as fun, as a hobby. And before you know it, the more people would see me, I started getting bigger and bigger stages. So I said, you know what? Let's take this hobby and turn it into a career. So that's what I'm working on right now, because that is really my passion, helping people to improve their services and skills, because not only it improves their organization, but it's a self-therapy for me as well.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And I know you've been on numerous radio shows, television shows, highly sought after motivational speaker too, which is great. This is just amazing, the work that you're doing and how you're helping to change people. So as far as the motivational speaking, would you mind, telling me like these corporations? So how does it work? They contact you. If you're out there listening, give us a call. And you're there hosting their events. Could you share a little bit about what that means?
Well, it's always word of mouth. Word of mouth is always the best way. It's people who've seen me in action. When they leave a major conference, they go to their company and tell their company, listen, Lonnie Bridges, you got to hear this guy. He is awesome. We need to get him for our next company retreat. Yeah. So that's how I started getting into the business. Not really advertising, but word of mouth. Because once somebody gets to see me, I tell them this, and this used to be my pitch. If I'm not the best, one of the best of the three people that you ever seen motivating, speaking, and getting your company excited, the only thing you have to pay me is a hamburger and a beer. Beautiful. We'll call it even.
Beautiful. And have you ever got the burger and the beer? Maybe in addition to
that plus the paycheck.
The pay. Yeah, exactly. They liked it so much they gave you both, and that is the bonus. Exactly. Well, and by the way, you're also on social media. I saw some of your videos, and I want people to do the same. Where do we contact you on social media?
Oh, well, social media, one of my email addresses, I always put that out there, bridgesbam@gmail.com. I try to keep things simple. I do have social media. You can find me on LinkedIn. If you just type up Lonnie Bridges, if you type up Lonnie Bridges Bam, you'll see a lot of my media and things pop up. So that's a great way to do that.
And can we talk about some of the companies that you've helped with leadership training? You've taught so many different managers and supervisors, right, on leading. And there's a big list on there. And could you share some of that and give us some examples of some of the work you've done for these companies?
Okay, well, I like for instance, let's say like Waiter. A few years ago, Waiter, when they combined, it became this big movement in our nation, and they're combined. They had a management summit in central Louisiana where they got all their regional managers, which is about 60 throughout the United States. Mm-hmm. And we had a conference at the Golden Nugget Casino, and the gentleman who heard me speak at a SHRM conference asked me, could I be the keynote speaker to start off their event? Because he said he needed somebody with energy and excitement, and I want you to focus on leadership skills because he said that's your sweet spot. So I went to that conference and I gave them a speech on a topic called The Art of Leadership, which is kind of keen because I wrote a best-selling book called The Art of Leadership, and I focus on those pretty much 6 principles. But I had them energetic, I had them participating, I had them really going, so it got the conference to a good start, and it led. So now this particular gentleman When he moves and go to other companies, I'm one of the first person that he calls on the list saying, Lonnie, look, I'm working with this organization right now. Can we get you to come speak to my group of vice
Yeah.
presidents? Can you come speak to my
Yeah.
group of managers? I want you to talk on this. Now, my company is Bridges Adaptive Management. The key word is adaptive because you know
Correct.
what? Yes, I can come up with some things out the shell, but I will adapt the message based on the needs of your organization. And that's what's different.
I apologize. We're frozen at the moment, but I hear you. Do you see me?
Okay. I see you and I see you moving.
Okay, my whole screen is frozen, so we both look silly. But it's okay. I'm still listening. I'm glad it's working on your end.
It is. It's working on my end.
All right, all right. Go ahead, continue.
So that was some of the key things. So it's
Yeah.
important. Yes?
Oh, go ahead. I was just going to ask
Oh,
you.
okay. I keep forgetting your screen is full.
I
So I like
know.
to socialize. My specialties is leadership development, leadership skills, communications, and even customer service. I have a program that I call Gumbo. Now, I'm from Louisiana, so that word, gumbo is a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So sometimes I'll meet with clients and I say, what are you looking for? An hour program, a 2-hour program, a 10-hour program? Because I have a program called BAM, that's that acronym again,
Yep.
that stands for Business Accelerated Management Program. And basically, that's like a 10-hour program that can be modified to 6 hours if necessary, that I'll focus on core aspects of what it takes to be successful in a management role. So
Beautiful.
I divide it into 3 courses. One to focus on leadership development.
Okay.
And it also has human resources built into that.
Okay.
And the next one will be leadership character with a set of human resources. And the third one is, of course, is customer service with leadership and HR. I'll go over all the basic things that anybody in a management role needs to know about human resources to stay valid within the law and to stop your people from getting in trouble.
Beautiful. And is it true you published a book, The Art of
Yes.
Leadership?
The
Hello,
Art of
let's
Leadership.
talk about that. Tell me more.
Oh, but listen, The Art of Leadership, that was a passionate book of mine. And what caused me to write that book is through my travels and working through industry, especially in customer service, working with casinos. I mean, at one point, I opened 3 casinos in 5 months. 3 casinos in 5 months, traveling opening up those casinos, developing their training courses, mentoring their managements, and then moving on to the next casino in another state. So I was on a team that did that for a while. Now, my book, The Art of Leadership, is based off of all the pros and cons that we see in management. And from the prospect and the viewpoint of an employee, that's what's so good about it. The Art of Leadership focuses on 6 principles. The first principle, the acronym is LEADER, by the way. So the L stands for listen and learn. So we discussed why when you're in management, it's important that you listen. You must listen and learn. My grandma used to tell me, son, you got 2 ears and 1 mouth for one reason. God gave you that so you can listen twice as much as you speak.
Yeah.
And what I teach to managers is this. It's not our job to have the solution. It's our job to listen to the people who deal with our customers. They will provide you what the solution is. Too often people in the leadership role think it's their role just to tell people what to do because they're not listening. You have to listen. The E in leader stands for energize. It's important that you bring energy into an organization. Now, if you yourself as a boss or a leader is not self-motivated, you need to make sure that you hire somebody that's on your team that is. So I talk about the importance of having energy within your organization. The A stands for action. Leaders must take action. People always say, you should have did this. I could have did this. I would have did that.
Would have. Uh-huh.
I tell them you will shoulda, coulda, woulda all over yourself one day. You got to be careful about that.
Yeah, exactly. And let me ask you, you've been doing this for quite some time. How did you see a change in, after the pandemic? Right?
Yes.
Because it was so horrible, but then it was also so good. It kind of reinvented us, gave us more drive to, focus and to, change a career, to work harder, to, appreciate life more. How has that affected you? And just if you don't mind me asking, and your clients?
Well, the pandemic was hard hitting, especially if you're a motivational speaker, because that means there's no longer big groups to go speak to, unless you started going on the new platforms, which came after that, like a Zoom platform. See, my specialty was always face to face.
Yeah.
Because I'll get in, I'll walk through a crowd, I'll read the crowd, and I'll determine what energy and what they need to hear by just intermingling and talking to them. So that was a tough one for me from a motivational speaking standpoint. But what I did realize is it made us have to focus more on technology, how to
Amazing.
utilize
Yeah.
technology effectively. So now I talk about that. I immerse in that. I mean, like AI. I'm in the process now to where I produce AI commercials. So some of the stuff on my platform, you'll see some commercials that I actually make and produce myself and help smaller organizations do that because it's cost efficiency in that. So what used to cost you $1,000 or $5,000 to get something produced, I have methods now where that can be done for $500 and $600, and it's excellent. So that's something that I'm diving in as a motivational speaker and being able to adapt to the needs of organizations as well.
Beautiful. And at this time, let's just remind everyone of all the ways we can reach out to you, please.
Yeah, the key, you can go to my website at bridgesbam.com. You go to my website, it'll have my phone number, it'll have my email. My email address is bridgesbam@gmail.com. And again, if you Google Lonnie Bridges or Lonnie Bridges Bam, you will find a lot of information. I'm out there.
And where do we get the book? Where's the book, by the way?
Oh, my book, you can actually order it from my website, bridgesbam.com, or I'm also on Amazon.
Perfect. Good to know. And I know we still want to talk more about, you mentioned youth and corporate groups as well, but can I just back up a second here? And also, I didn't get to ask you about your personal life. I read that you were married and you have, is it 4 sons?
I have 4 boys.
God bless you. Could I ask their age?
Sure. Their age is I have a 27-year-old, a 25-year-old, a 17, and a 50.
What? No.
Yeah.
You don't look old enough. Is that possible? You had kids when you were a kid?
No, I had my first kid. I was about 27.
Oh, my God.
My wife and I, we're high school sweethearts. We've been married 28 years. We've been together 38 years. And look, we actually dated 10 years before we got married, and we had our first kid 2 years later after we got married. So
amazing. Well, I just want a beautiful story. Thank you. It's always
Absolutely.
important to bring that up. I have a 7 and 9-year-old, 2 little boys myself, so I get it. So not only you're a hardworking man, a father, a husband, veteran, author, is there anything you don't do? Seriously, congratulations.
You know what? I'm not afraid to try new things.
Yeah.
Look, they said the idle mind is a devil's playground. So I have to keep myself pretty busy. And my brain is always racing. So I'm always looking for things to do. I'm always looking for things to learn. The biggest success for me, which is self-therapy, is learning something new, then teaching it to others.
Wow.
That's also part of that leader acronym when you develop yourself and others. Learn something new and teach it to others. Then you empower people to do the information, and then you recognize successes and failures. That's part of the leader program and acronym that I utilize in my motivational training sessions as well as coachings and mentoring program.
Beautiful. And if someone out there is listening today, I mean, seriously, you've worked with all different types of companies. So is there anyone in particular, any niche, or it's really you're open to any company, right? I would assume, right?
Well, the reason why I started focus on leadership skills, because no matter what the industry is, no matter what the topic is, there's always a need for leadership. I have programs for all ages. I'll go speak to 4-H youth development. Like I have a contract with the state of Louisiana when they have all their 4-H youth leaderships. Wow. We'll gather 150 or 200 of them at a college or university, and I'll talk about the art of leadership, but on their level. Wow. Because you have to adapt to the level, because leadership starts at all ages. I speak at high schools, I speak at college graduations, I speak to CEOs, I speak to vice presidents, I speak to managers, various groups, because leadership is unique field that affects everybody, and you can never start too young.
Amazing. Well, thank you. Now, did you want to dive into a little more about the youth? You mentioned Beta 4-H, RYLA. I'm looking at them now, and some corporate groups that you're working with.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, listen, just the Goodwill Industries, Toastmasters International, Society of Human Resources, International Association of Administrative Professionals, IAAA. That was one of my favorite groups. The International Association of Administrative Professionals, we had a tri-state conference that consisted of Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi, and it was held in all places, New Orleans. So that was a wonderful. The great thing about IAAP is it is approximately, I'd say, about 95% female. And for some reason, I have the best fun with the ladies groups. I just can connect with them, and they'll share a lot of the issues, a lot of the things that I learned that what's wrong in corporate America. That's the best people to talk to. The executives, administrative assistants, they know everything and all things. So I use that information to help write my book, because basically when you have thousands of people telling you these are the issues that we have in our organization, we wish we can change that, then I take that information and I will cater programs. So when I go speak to corporate America or organizations, I already know some of the solutions that's necessary, because the employees who work with the executives as well as the frontline associates, they're right in the middle of everything. They're telling me this is the issues that we have. And it's consistent across the board, no matter what state I go to. Same problem.
Amazing. Well, I commend you on this work you're doing. I want to hear some more success stories of the clients you've worked for. And I mean, I know you have great accolades, great testimonials to the services that you have done. And, you know, this is our first show, so we do have 6 minutes left. I just want to make sure we're covering everything today for your first show that's important to you. What did you want to add for today?
Well, the key thing is this. People need to understand that when it comes to process improvement, it's important that your manager play a role in it. I often say when I give my speaking, when there's an issue in a company, it's never the employees, it's always management. And people say, well, what do you mean? No. See, employees do what they're allowed to do and what's expected of them. If they have a low expectation, then they'll give you low performance. If they have high expectations based on their leadership, it will be a high performance. And I've walked into organizations and helped turn around things in that situation, because it's not just the words, it's the actions. You have to speak loud, but you also have to, what I call, lead by example. And that's what I teach to managers. I'll go in there really hard. Now I'll give them a hard message and I'll tell them, see, the problem is this. People don't want to be leaders. They want to be bosses. And there's a difference. See, a leader is selfless. A boss is selfish. Leaders will do what's best for the organization. Bosses will do what's best for themselves. Leaders will unite and use unity within a teamwork. Bosses will divide. They will divide an organization to people who are like them, that will support them. Leaders are there for the long haul. Bosses are there for the short time. So I break that down and use real examples to let you know that, hey, the problem is too many people want to be a boss when you need to be a leader.
Beautifully said. This is so true. I've had plenty of incidents in my head. I'm thinking about former bosses in my life. And yes, it is so true. Leaders are different than bosses. Not every boss is a leader. And unfortunately, I think there's a lot more non-leader bosses out there than leader bosses.
Well, that's the problem. That's what's becoming popular right now.
Yeah.
That's what's becoming popular. But what becomes popular, although it may work for a short term, but for the long term, it's going to be devastating to your organization.
Yeah.
I've seen it in the military. I've seen it. Like I said, I work for a Fortune 500 company in quality assurance. I've seen it in the casino industry. Wow. I've had bosses. I've had leaders. As an entrepreneur, as a consultant, I work with organizations to help improve their situations. Yeah. And I see that, and I can see the type, identify that, and address it directly. Those are the key things I like to talk about in organizations.
I love it. And you got that experience, that knack, that know-how. You could just kind of weed them right out. You can sense it. Like you're almost empathic, right?
No, it's a funny thing. That's one of my strong suits. I can spend 5 minutes with a person, especially when I get to look in the eye.
And you can read them.
Look in the eye and just talk to them. I can already tell. I'm pretty good at telling when somebody's lying to me. But
hi, my name is Jill. Hi, my name is Nicole. Close.
Really?
Nicolini. Yeah, okay. No, but I'm the same way. I'm a people person, clearly like yourself, and I can pick up, vibes. This is what I love talking to people for a living. This is what I've done forever. Yeah. And you can sense a good energy, and you can sense a negative energy, and you can. It changes, it gives you the tools that you need to now instruct, to talk, to teach, to learn. I get it, because everybody's different.
And people realize that, because bosses are people who are used to manipulating a situation. When they're around me, they don't hang around me long, because they know by the look in my eye that, okay, I can't get something over this guy, so I'm going to go the other way.
I'm going to move the wayside there. Got it. You are so good. Lonnie, Bam Bridges, so excited to have you here. Great getting to know you, and I hope our listeners do reach out. Again, let's remind them how they can contact you, and again, whether you want to, if it's personal leadership, is for your organization, youth group, I mean, you do it all. So again,
I do.
Go ahead to bridgesbam.com. Go ahead.
That's right. bridgesbam.com.
You say it better than I do. That's true. All right.
bridgesbam@gmail.com. And of course, my phone number is out there directly, 318-500-1435. And like I said, I do big groups. I speak to corporate groups that may be 1,000, 1,500 people, even larger than that. And I speak to personalized groups because some companies will come and say, listen, we're looking for more of a mentor coach. These are my top 20 executives or my top 20 managers that we're developing for succession planning. What can we do with them? And I can actually help you develop a succession planning process with tools and skills that they need to work on by sitting in with them and evaluating them and getting a program going. With digital technology now, it makes it easier to do these types of mentorships online.
Sounds great. Well, the book, don't forget, The Art of Leadership, can be purchased as well. Go to the website there or to Amazon. And again, you can also get an autographed copy. I saw that on the website too, if you click there.
Well, the thing is this, if you order it from bridgesbam.com, which is my website, I'm going to send it to you so I can autograph it and send it to you. Beautiful. If you order it from Amazon, it's not going to be autographed.
I know. All right. Go to the website. Thank you again. Pleasure having you here. Excited to get to know you, Lonnie, and we'll talk soon. Thanks so much.
And have a super fantastic day.
You too. Bam!
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Woo! Let's get crazy!
In movies, when someone at a party jumps into a pool fully dressed, everyone cheers them on and jumps in too. Just so you know, in real life parties, nobody jumps in after you. You just look stupid.
Come on, jump in! Come on!
Most party fouls are pretty dumb, but if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Learn more at ultimatepartyfoul.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.